those of you that prefer working with curves rather than the wheels, and of course you can combine the two, let's go over to our clip, right click on it, local version, and create new version. Let's say version 3 curves. In the exposure and saturation, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to reset the node grade. You can see that our waveform has pushed itself way back up to the top. I'm going to click on the curves button right here, and that's going to bring up the curves window. So to accomplish with greater degree of precision what we did with the wheels, I'm going to go to the bottom of the curve and I'm going to drag it to the right, and you can see that's bringing everything down. Okay, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to bring that, slide that to the left and bring that up. I'm now going to go to the middle of the curve, and to set a point I'm going to click on that point. I'm going to continue to hold down and I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to go here and I'm going to click and drag it back up. I'm going to just continue to play with that. And of course we can add as many points as we want. If I want to have one here to affect that part of the darker area more specifically or more precisely, I can do that. Now I'm going to come over to saturation. I'm going to boost that up. And now we have a slightly different look using curves. Now I'm going to show you how to warm this clip up using the gamma or midtones and gain or highlights color wheels. We're going to stay with version 2 on this. I'm going to make sure that the LUT is selected, and then I'm going to do an Alt or Option S from the keyboard. I'm going to right click on the node, choose node label, and I'm going to type warmer in all caps. The reason I like to isolate these in separate nodes is so that I can easily turn it off and on. If I had put it into one of the other nodes, that would not be as simple. So with that selected, I'm going to come down to the gain or highlight color wheel. I'm going to click on the center and I'm going to drag towards the red-orange, and I'm going to push it too far so you can see how quickly it changes the color. Now to reset that, I'm going to double click on that little circle inside the color wheel, and that puts it back to the center. Now if I dragged it the other direction, you can see it's quickly going to make it cooler. And again, I'm going to reset it. To add that warmth, it's just going to take a subtle, small amount of movement to that, probably about there. Then I'm going to come over to the gamma or midtones, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just gently push it up just a little bit. And that's about all I'm going to do. So to show you what it looks like before, I'm going to turn off the warmer node. That's before, and that's after. It's a subtle change, but that's what we were looking for. So now I'm going to show you how to use a qualifier to improve the quality of the sky in this clip. First thing I'm going to do is go over to the clip, right click on it, and go to version 2 and load that. I'm then going to go to local versions and create a new version. And we'll call this one version 4-qualifier. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the LUT node, and from the keyboard I'm going to do an Option or Alt S. I'm going to right click on the new node, choose node label, and type in, I'm going to do all caps, this just my approach, improve sky. The next thing I'm going to do is go up to the magic wand, they call it highlight. I'm going to come down, make sure that I'm a qualifier. If you're still on curves, move over to qualifier. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to select the sky. I'm going to just drag this through the sky. Now I'm going to come down to the hue, saturation, and luminance levels. And I'm going to see if I can reduce some of the beach area by going to the low luminance level and dragging that to the right. And that got rid of a little of it. I'm going to go over to denoise and I'm going to do a little noise reduction in there. And I'm going to go to clean black and drag that to the right until I'm able to remove all of the selection in the beach area that's not part of the sky. I had to set this to 100%. I'm going to come down to the blur radius and I'm going to increase that. And what that's going to do is, see the line separating the sky from the ground and the mountains? It's going to make that less sharp. So the changes that I make will be blended into the original image more subtly. Now I'm going to turn off the magic wand. Now I'm going over to the library on the right side. I'm going to scroll down and in Resolve FX Color, I'm going to choose Dehaze. Now I know Dehaze is part of the paid version, but I wanted to show you what's possible using a qualifier with this plugin. I'm going to drag onto the node that has the qualifier in it. And you'll notice the little icon for the node. I'm going to increase the size so that you can see it more clearly. I'm going to use that hand tool that I showed you earlier and drag it around so you can see it a little better. And I'm going to click on the haze color with the little eyedropper, and I'm going to click over here in that haze area. So this is with it on, that's with it off. So we've improved it a bit. I might even increase the amount of dehaze just to see what that does. So this is a basic example of how we were able to improve the quality of the sky using the qualifier and the dehaze plugin. Now I'm going to show you how to create a vignette using one of the power window tools. So I'm going to right click on this clip. I'm going to go to local versions, create a new version. And this I'm going to call vignette. So I'm going to create a new node. I'm going to, with the last node improve sky selected, I'm going to do an Alt or Option S. I'm just going to bring this down so it's easier to see. I'm going to right click on it and type vignette. Now I'm going to come down to where we've got the qualifier selected and slide to the right one and choose Power Windows. I'm going to click on the circle power window, and that's going to drop a power window on there for me. I'm now going to zoom out just a little bit so I can see the area around the video display in the video area. I'm going to click on the top part of it. I'm going to drag it up so it's more oval in nature. I'm going to grab the side of it and drag it out just a little bit. Then I'm going to grab this outer ring, this little control handle here. I'm going to drag that to the right all the way to the edge. The next thing to do is to go down to highlights, down below the gain color wheel. We're going to grab that little rolling wheel and I'm going to click and drag it to the right, and you'll see it start to darken the area. Now the problem is that we want the outer area outside of Haystack Rock in this part of the beach to be the part that darkens down, so we can draw the eye to this central area. To do that, I come down to the circle power window and I click on this icon here, and that switches it to the outer edge. Now I'm going to go to the gamma or midtones and I'm going to darken that just a little bit, and to the shadows and darken that a little bit. To soften this even more, I'm going to come over to the soft 1 control and I'm going to drag that to the right, and you'll notice that's going to help extend that further away from it, so that, again, so the effect is subtler. And this is still a little too heavy-handed for me, so I'm going to bring the gain or highlights back up just a touch and play with lift gamma gain or shadows, midtones, highlights until it looks the way that I want. Now the simplest way to test this is to just click on another node, and we'll see what it looks like without the power window on it. And then I'm going to turn the vignette off. That's before and that's after. And as you can see, we have subtly focused the eye to the center of this frame. Now I'm going to show you how to grab a still from a video clip, put it into the gallery, and then apply the grade or the nodes that we had on that clip to another clip. So you can duplicate the color correction and any color grading that you've done on that clip to another clip. So the first thing to do is to come up and click on the gallery to activate it. Then we slide our cursor over the video window and we right click and we grab still. And you'll notice that that's now added a second image. Now if I right click on this image and choose display node graph, you'll see that it has a copy of the nodes that are a part of that clip. To apply the node graph or the color correction and look and feel to another clip, we select the clip down in the clip row, we go back up to the gallery, we right click on the clip we want to apply and we choose apply grade. And you can see that we now have that grade applied to another clip. This is the way we can copy adjustments, looks and feels from one clip to another clip.